Good morning students, myself Shilpa Sharma, and in the series of digital system design, today we will discuss various kinds of delay defined in VHDL system. Mainly delays are by default or defined. If we take by default, that means they are considered as delta delay. And if they are defined, that means they are categorized according to transport or inertial delay. So first, we will talk about delta delay. Delta delays are what? These are infinitesimally small delay. It's not a real delay. Means we are considering that some delay is happening if we are giving the inputs. This is because the simulation time doesn't advance. It allows for ordering of events. So why it is needed? Why need to define delta delay if they are not defined properly in the defined by the user? Actually, real signals never change instantaneously. So we need to describe hardware without ambiguities of zero delay models. For example, cross-coupled latch. In latch, output changes the input and accordingly output gets changed again. So, we need to see the delta delay because after getting changed, the output must get stable and this stable output will get back feed it to input and then output will change. So that's why these kinds of delays are needed. Delta delays needed to provide support for concurrent operations with zero delay. The order of execution for component with zero delay is yet not clear, but scheduling of zero delay devices requires the delta delay. A delta delay is necessary if no other delay is specified. This delay doesn't advances the simulator time. One delta delay is an infinitesimal amount of time. A delta is a scheduling device to ensure repeatability. You can see from here. Here you can see an example. I am giving A input to an inverter of first inverter, then it will generate B output. This B output is again feeded to inverter 2, then it will generate C output and this C output will again feed it to inverter 3. It will give Y output. So here you can see the program for this. In this example, delta delay, value of delta delay is not defined although, but still we are applying the concept of delta delay. See in this waveform, A is generated means high value after then low value. Accordingly, B gets changed and after getting changed with B, C gets changed and finally output. Now, these outputs we are getting at time t plus delta, that means first inverter is generating a delta delay. Then another output, that means output of B is generated after twice of delta delay because of two inverters. Then C input is generating output Y, which is giving thrice of delta delay to the input. So in this way we can create and write using delta delays. Here as you can see, we are defining library IEEE, use IEEE.std_logic _1164.all. These are use of libraries. We are defining them so that we can compile the types from there. Then For this circuit, we need to define two things, two ports, A input and Y output. In between are signals, which we need to define in the architecture. Now, A input, Y output, STD underscore logic, as well as we can take one value, 0 or 1, that means bit values. Now, we will AND this entity. Here, the name of entity can be written or can be left. Now, we will define the architecture. Architecture, some name of entity name is. Here, as I have told you, signals need to define, that means in between signals, that means B and C, which are generated in between but behaves as an input of second inverter and third inverter. So, we will define them, then process will start, that means begin. In between we write a formula, then we will end the objects, means architecture. Now, the formula told about that every output is the input of, not of, inverter of that input. That means if you were using high output, that means output will get lowered after passing through the inverter. So, this way we can define the delta delays. Now, if we want to draw the delay models, that means there are two types of delay models that can be applied. When assigning a time or value paired into driver of a signal. These delay models are inertial delay model and transport delay model. Now, if we talk about inertial delay model, then what is the need of inertial delay? What is the inertial delay? It's a default delay type in VSD. It's default because it behaves similar to actual device. It is most commonly used today because in most cases it is accurate for the designer's need. In inertial delay, the output signal of the device has inertia which must overcome for the signal to change values. As you can see here, an example is given. Input is given to the inverter, means to the input of inverter. It is generating an output. In inertial delay model, an input must be stable for a specified pulse rejection limit duration, so that this value, means input value, is propagated to the output after the specified inertial delay. If input is not stable for a specified pulse rejection limit, then no output change takes place. For this, syntax is signal object assigned a value, reject pulse rejection limit, means PRF we need to define in 10 microsecond, 3 microsecond, like this. Then inertial expression, then we will write after this much of inertial delay, means value. So, if we look into this example, then it will look simple. Here we are giving input in an inverter which is generating an output. If we vary input from 5 to 10, if we make it high, and after 20 if we make it high, then now here we can see that we are giving a delay of 10 nanoseconds. So, how we will write? We will write not input after 10 nanoseconds. This will be your output. So, this is the simplest way, but if we define the pulse rejection limit, then what happened? See here, the syntax which I have told you, general form is what? Signal assigned a value, then we will write reject, then we will write time expression, means that pulse rejection limit. Here, a pulse whose duration is shorter than the time limit specified in reject clause will not be transmitted. Then we will specify inertial, because we are applying inertial delay, that means we need to specify inertial. then we will give the expression, then we will write after this much nanosecond, means time expression we need to define. See, for example, out underscore 1 is what? Inertial input after 8 nanosecond, whereas out underscore 2 is what? Inertial input after 2 nanosecond. See, the default time limit in the reject clause is given by the time in the after clause. The default time in the after clause is a delta time. It is an error if the pulse rejection limit is negative or smaller than the first delay time. So, we need to follow these rules. So, in this way, we can define the inertial delay example. You need to note that a pulse will be rejected if and only if its value is less than the value given in time expression. Okay. So, following 3 assignments are equivalent to each other here. Out underscore 2 is assigned a value input after 2 nanosecond. Out underscore 2 is again assigned a value underscore 2, out inertial input after 2 nanosecond. Then we can also define to reject 2 nanosecond pulse, that means we can write reject 2 nanosecond inertial input after 2 nanosecond. So, in this way we can define the inertial delay. Now, we will talk about transport delay model. Transport delay is not a default in VHDL. It is a hardware that do not have inertial delay. It represents pure propagation delay, that is, any change in input is transmitted to output after a specified delay, even though the change in the input is for very small duration, but still it will send this delay to the output. To use transport delay model, keyword transport must be used, as we were using in inertial delay. Here you can see it represents wire delay, in which pulse, no matter how small, is propagated to the output signal delay by delay value specified. It has to be specified by a user. It is not default in VHDL. It is used for wire delay on PC board and part delay on AC. In the transport delay model, we do not need to take care of a window. We just need to write after this much nanosecond. Then we will obtain an output after 10 nanosecond. This defines the transport delay. Now, if we compare the transport delay with the inertial delay, then we will see that transport delay is what? That will purely transfer the output or shift the output according to delay. Whereas inertial delay, the output is generated after seeing the pulse rejection limit as well as the delay. In this, you can see if we take the input A, which is 0 to 10, which is 0, and from 10 to 20, which is high, then again 0. Then in transport delay, if we give 20 nanosecond, then output will be the shifting value of A after 20 nanosecond. Whereas in inertial delay, if we write A after 20 nanosecond, then nothing will be generated in the output, because according to them, in pulse rejection limit, 0 values are generated. Clear? So, this is the difference between transport delay and inertial delay. In the coming classes, we will discuss the programming models or programming of various half adder, full adder, scale means scalar, and so on. For now, thank you. This was all for today.